Welcome students to my class on how to write formal letters. This is my second presentation on the same topic, how to write formal letters. In my first presentation, I have covered about formal letters, the general format of formal letters, how many types of formal letters are there, what is the difference between formal letters and informal letters. I have covered in details, and in this presentation of mine, or in this class of mine, or in this tutorial of mine, we will be discussing about different types of formal letters, starting with letter to the editor. Students, letters are of two types, formal and informal letters. Informal letters को हम friendly letter भी कह देते हैं. In this part of the presentation or class, we are going to see the differences between formal letters and informal letters. जो formal letters होते हैं, उनकी language is very formal. उनकी एक word limit होती है, उनका एक style होता है, उनका एक format होता है. Basic differences. जो informal letters होते हैं, usually हम अपने friends, relatives, parents को लिखते हैं. कोई word limit नहीं होती है. You can play with the language. You can use your favorite idioms, phrases, proverbs, and you can use certain words like hi, hope, you are in pink of health, etc. Okay, and they are, you can express your feelings in a free way in informal letters, but not in formal letters. So just let's take the recap. For formal letters, they are usually written to the officers or for business purposes. Informal letters, they are for relatives, friends, etc. Then use of formal, direct and polite language. You can also use direct and simple language, but limited use of phrases, idioms and proverbs. Whereas in informal letters, the language is very much informal. You can play with the language. Free usage of phrases, idioms, proverbs are allowed. Then all types of formal letters have the same general format. General format is same for all formal letters. And in informal letters, बहुत ही simple, very simple general format is there. Then informal letters are further divided into various types like letter to editor. जो भी class 10 के बच्चे हैं उनको पता होगा, we have basically four: letter to the editor, letter of complaint and suggestions, letter for placing order, letter of inquiry. These are the four types of letters we have in class 10. In sub letters की specific general format is same beta, but the specific format of each type of letter is different. But जब हम आते हैं informal letters पे, तो there is only one simple format for informal letters. There is no specific format. Then very important thing, specific word limit is there for formal letters, but for informal letters, there is no specific word limit. And as per as class 10, current CBSE, formal letters are given 5 marks and informal letters are not there in our syllabus. So now we are going to discuss about the general format of formal letters. All formal letters, basically four types which we have discussed, that is letter to editor, letter of complaint and suggestions, letter for placing order, and letter of inquiry. All of these letters, they have the same general format. The specific format is different, that we will be discussing in details when we'll be discussing each of this letter type. So let's discuss the general format. I always tell my students to remember 9 points. The first one is sender's address. Second is date. You can leave a line after date. Then we have receiver's address, subject, salutation, followed by introductory or opening paragraph. Then we have content or body where we discuss about the topic or the subject matter given in the question. Then we have concluding or closing paragraph followed by signature. Signature again has three main parts: thank you, yours truly, name, and then you can write designation if it is given. So ये है हमारा general format. Students, you can, before practicing any letter, you can always practice general format. Just writing these 9 points, you can just practice the general format and then start writing your letter. The opening or introductory paragraph and closing or concluding paragraph for each specific formal letter is same. So if you learn the opening and the closing paragraph, I tell you, Your 70% of the formal letter writing is done. Students, let's discuss the rules and points to remember for general format of formal letters. There are 9 parts. So let's start with the first one, that is sender's address. Two options can happen. One is if the address is given in the question, then we have to write the same address. The second part, the second type, if the address is not given in the question, then what should we do? Then we have to use fictitious address. Okay. Second part में अगर address नहीं दिया गया question में तो हमने क्या करना है? We have to use fictitious address. In this part, we have two parts, two options. Number one, example one, you see I have given house number #ABC, lane 123, city PQR. इसमें आपने ध्यान रखना है whether you are using English alphabets or you are using numbers. They should not be same. For example, house number 123, lane or road number 123, city 123. This is wrong. Or house number ABC, lane ABC, city ABC. This is wrong. We have to use different letters or different numbers for house, lane and city. Second option आपके पास है, you can write examination hall and then city PQR. इसमें बच्चे or students make maximum mistake. Where? In writing the name of the city. If I have noticed, if I tell the students to write examination hall, which has to be followed by city PQR, city may mostly the students write the name of the city from where they are appearing for the examination. Whereas the CBSE strictly tells us that we should not disclose our identity or the place of examination in any form. Hence, we should be very, very careful with this. आप दोनों में से कोई भी option लीजिए, whether you take the first example option or the second one. But remember, you should not write down the name of the city from where you are giving your examination, because we don't have to disclose our identity. The next is date. You know, date consists of day, month, and year. Okay. So the day is written in the ordinal form. Ordinal form is the number with ST for 1, ND for 2, RD for 3, and then followed by TH. Example, 1 ST will become first, 2 followed by ND will become second, 3 followed by RD will become third, 4 followed by TH will become fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and it continues. Then we come down to month. Month mein students, we write down the full spelling of the month. Example, JAN is not allowed, but JANUARY, January, is allowed. Similarly, no Feb, it is February. MAR no, March, MARCH. ठीक है? SCP SEP is not allowed. September, OCT OC is not allowed. October, meaning to say आपने full spelling of the month लिखनी है. Then we come down to year. We will write down 4 digits of the year. For example, 2026. After date, leave space. Then come down to receiver's address. Mostly, receiver's address is given in the question, so no problem. Write down the address which is given in the question. In case, if the address of the city or any lane or something is missing, for example, something is missing, then same, use fictitious address like ABC, XYZ, that is there. But mostly in CBSE question papers, the address, receiver's address is properly given. Then we come down to subject, which consists of 5 to 7 words, students. There are two ways of writing subject. Since we write only 5 to 7 words, one way is the first letter of each word should be capital. Or you can also write the first letter of the first word to be capital. Okay. For example, suppose I write, there's a letter in which you have to write down to the letter to the editor about the pollution, the problem of pollution. So my subject is problem of pollution. So one way is I write P of problem capital, O of off capital, and P of pollution capital, problem of pollution. Or I can only write down P of problem capital, O will be running hand, and pollution also, P of pollution will also be in running hand. These are two ways of writing. When we come down to salutation, that is sir, madam, we write. There are basically three types, because the way we write sir, madam, the closing also take place accordingly. Okay. If you write only sir or madam, then your closing will be yours truly. Y capital, T of truly will be small. If you start the letter with dear sir or madam, you need to close it with yours sincerely in signature. If you write respected sir or madam, then you should use yours obediently. The last one which I discussed now, that is respected sir or madam, it usually comes in the academic letters or in the letters which are written to the principals or the directors of the school or colleges. So out of those 9 points of general format of formal letters, we have discussed the first 5 points. Now let's come down to the sixth point. Sixth is the introductory or opening paragraph, which is specific for each type of formal letter. Then we have content or body, and then we have concluding or closing paragraph. This is also specific for each type of formal letters. Let me explain here for the students. After this salutation, the letter is divided into three parts, three paragraphs. The opening paragraph, the body or the content, and the third one is concluding or closing paragraph. Students, for each type of letter, like let's take the example of letter to the editor. Sare letter to the editors, maximum all types of letter to the editors, let me say, will have the same type of introductory or opening paragraph and same type of concluding or closing paragraph. Content and body will be different, वो different रहेगा क्योंकि it will be depending upon the topic or the content or the data or the information given in the question. But opening and closing paragraph will remain same. So how to learn the formal letters now? The first one is, if we know the general format of the letter, our 50% work is done. If we know how to write the opening and closing paragraph, another 25% of the work is done. So you see how easy it is to learn formal letters. So by just learning the general format of the letters and opening and closing paragraphs, we are done with 75% of our formal letters. Only 25% which is left, which is pertaining to the content or body of the letter. After closing or concluding paragraph, we come down to signature, which I told you consists of three parts. That is your thank you. T of thank will be capital, Y of you will be small. Then yours truly, sincerely, depending upon what salutation you are using. Y will be capital, T will be small. And then we write down the name and designation, what is given in the question. If name is not given, then you can write down ABC, XYZ. Again, I'm repeating those three sentences again. If you are using sir, madam in the salutation, please close with yours truly. If you are using dear sir or madam in the salutation, close with yours sincerely. If you are writing respected sir or madam, which is in case of academic letters means you are writing letters to the principal or the director of the school or colleges, then you have to write down yours obediently, where Y will be capital and O will be small of obediently. Here, a very important point which is to be written or noted is that in no case you must write yours faithfully. Many students, many sample books, even I find the books of English where the letter writing formats are given, they have also written yours faithfully, which is absolutely wrong. ये हमने नहीं लिखना है. Now let's discuss the types of formal letters. The first one is letter to the editor. It could be local or national. The second one is letter of complaint. It could be for the various products or goods which you have purchased or against the services. The third one is letter of suggestion. And the fourth one is letter for placing order. There's another part of this placing order only, letter for placing order, which we call it as letter of cancellation of order. And the last one is letter of inquiry. Again, I repeat the same sentence. The opening or introductory paragraph and closing or concluding paragraph for each specific formal letter is of the same type. So let's start with letter to the editor. This is the first letter out of the 4 letters which we have in our syllabus for class 10 under the category of formal letters. So let's discuss in detail letter to the editor. Students, in letter to the editor, I give you the example how the question comes. First is, write a letter to the editor of a national daily. Now you need to remember, there is no newspaper with a name national daily. जब national daily की बात होती है, that means the newspaper जो पूरे country में circulate होता है. The same newspaper you will get it in Jammu Kashmir. वही newspaper आप कन्याकुमारी में भी मिलेगा. So the national daily, whenever it is given national daily, you can write down the names of the newspaper like Times of India, Hindustan Times, Economic Times, etc. जो receivers address होता है उसमें जो first line होगी that will be the editor, second line will be Times of India or Hindustan Times, and the third line will be New Delhi or if the name of the city is given in the question. Second form of letter to the editor, which is letter to the editor of a local daily. Local daily, daily itself means newspaper. So local daily वो newspaper होते हैं जो एक particular region और locality में ही publish होते हैं और वही circulate होते हैं. For example, the local newspapers of Mumbai is not there or circulated in Delhi. The local newspaper of Chennai will not be available to the people in Mumbai or Bangalore or Kolkata. So all places, basically all cities, they have their own local newspaper. Dainik Bhaskar hai, Jagran hai, there's so many newspapers which are local to that area. अगर इस तरह का क्वेश्चन आता है तो आपने लिखना है to the editor and नीचे आपने name of the local newspaper डालना है if it is given in the question paper. If it is not given in the question paper, then you have to write down XYZ. Now the third line में जहाँ पे आपने एड्रेस लिखना है, एड्रेस मतलब सिटी लिखना है, सिटी का नाम लिखना है, यहाँ पे आपने ध्यान रखना है और you have to be very careful. The name of the city in the receiver's address and sender's address will be same. Reason मैंने आपको बता दिया पहले, क्योंकि ये वो न्यूज़पेपर है जो जहाँ पब्लिश होता है वहीं के लोग वहाँ पढ़ते हैं. That means wherever it is published, the readers are also in the same locality. So letter to the editor is very, very important because most of the time, out of the 4 or 5 types of letters which we have in our course or syllabus, 2 letters comes, option comes. So one of the letter is usually, I will say 90% of the time, it is letter to the editor or it will be letter of complaint, oblique suggestion, letter of inquiry or letter for placing order. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ letter of editor आते हैं. Many a times we have seen that in the question, it comes or the question paper, the options are given between any two among the 4 letters which we have mentioned. But I have observed 90% of the time letter to the editor is there. So please understand and try to learn the format and how to write letter to the editor. So let's discuss the general format, which is the same 9 points. Sender's address, date. You have to follow the rules for writing date, receiver's address. So this is the letter to the editor of a national daily, the editor, Times of India, New Delhi. Subject. In subject, you have to mention the problem, the issue, whatever is there in the question. Salutation is sir or madam. So usually keep to sir or madam and then you have to conclude or you have to sign by writing yours truly. Introductory opening paragraph, as I had mentioned in my previous video and I would like to mention here again, the opening and closing paragraph for all letters to the editors, whether national or daily or local, are all same. That is, we start with through the columns of your repeated, popular, widely circulated, etc., any one you will use. Newspaper, I would like to bring to the notice of the people or concerned authorities the problem or issues of dash. Now, this dash is nothing but the topic which is given in the question. This is followed by content or body where you're going to discuss about it. If they have asked you to suggest some remedies or some remedial measures, please do that. And if not, just discuss the problems. You have to read the question properly to answer this part or to write in content or body. Then concluding or closing paragraph is also the same. Hence, I would request you once again to give space to my views or opinions or concerns or write up, etc., in your newspaper. In no case we should ask or request the editor to solve a problem. We can ask him, we can request him to give space to the views, to the opinions, or the write up in the editorial column of the newspaper. Then comes signature, thank you, yours truly, name, designation if it is given in the question. Our next letter is letter of complaint. Letter of complaint, basically, I have categorized them or divided them into two. One is for goods products, example phones, laptop, iron, washing machine, etc. Any product which you purchase. And then it is not working properly and you have to write a complaint letter for it. The second is services, example park, transportation, road, drainage, etc., electricity, water supply, etc. General format student remains the same. Let's discuss the specific format. So we start with sender's address. The rules and regulations all remain the same as we have discussed. Then comes date, then leave space, then receiver's address, then subject. The subject will start with the word complaint. Complaint for a faulty product. So first we will discuss about complaint letter for a product. Then salutation, sir, madam. Then introductory or opening paragraph. Here also the opening and the closing paragraph remains same. For example, let's see what is the introductory paragraph. With regret, I would like to mention or state any one word you will mention. Wherever I have given oblique, a slash, any one word you need to mention or write. I repeat once again. With regret, I would like to mention or state that dash means the product. Let's take the case of laptop. A laptop was purchased from your shop or store on, say, let's hold 7th of January 2026, wide receipt bill number XYZ123, within full stop. Within a week of its purchase, the laptop is not functioning properly. The dash means the product, okay? The laptop is not functioning properly. I am facing a lot of problem due to this. Now, in body or content, you're going to discuss the problem of the product. In my case, which I have taken is laptop. Example I've taken is laptop. Now you discuss just 3 or 4 problems and explain them. For examples, you may say the laptop gets heated up, it doesn't start, it hangs up, the sound is not clear. Okay, all these problems you can discuss. Then coming down to the closing or concluding paragraph. It's again the same for all letter of complaints for products. As the product is within the warranty period, I request you to kindly replace the product or refund the money as soon as possible. Your early response will be highly appreciated. Copy of warranty card and receipt bill is enclosed along with this letter. बहुत simple है students, बहुत simple है. You can in fact memorize the opening and closing paragraphs. So this will help you a lot in writing the formal letters or letter of complaint in a proper way and get good marks in your board exams. Now, in this slide, we are going to discuss how to write letter of complaint for poor or bad services or any facility which is being given to us or we enjoy as a citizen. Now, the previous one which we had discussed was letter of complaint for products or goods. Students, you should go back and I hope you must have noticed that in The previous letter we don't write. Previous letter means, I mean to say, the letter of complaint for products or goods, we don't write thank you because we are upset, we are not happy. But there's a difference now. In this, a letter of complaint for good, letter of complaint for poor or bad services of any facility which we are enjoying. In this letter, we write thank you. So let's discuss the general form. The same. Sender's address, date, receiver's address. Then subject is complaint. Again, it starts with complaint against the poor services of dash. Now, this dash will include the subject matter which is given in the question. For example, park, transportation, road, drainage, water supply, electricity supply, etc. Salutation will remain sir, madam. Usually, the formal letters do not have the salutation of dear or dear sir or dear madam. You must say now, or you may ask that one doubt may come to you, ma'am. Most of the books and all they have dear sir or dear madam. So, students, I can only say formal things when we are formal, they don't have any dear. But we write dear or respected, it is out of the respect or the culture which we follow in India. But usually, the formal letters we start only with sir or madam. Okay. Now come down to the introductory paragraph. Since these are the letters not expressing happiness, it expresses a disappointment. We always start with regret. I would like to state that the condition of the roads, drains, parks, whatever is given in the question in our area, locality is not good. Then there are mention few problems like we are facing. Suppose it is roads. Example, let me take like in the previous letter, I took the example of laptop. Let me take the case of roads, poor roads. Then here you mention over here that there are many fatal accidents which has occurred due to the poor road condition in our locality. Then you can also mention due to which the residents are facing lots and lots of problems. Then come down to the content and body. Then same, the rule goes here, discuss the problems. If the question in the question paper has asked you for some remedies or some remedial measures to be taken, do mention them. Then concluding or closing paragraph always remains the same. Hence concluding once again, I would request you. Why request you? Because this is the letter of complaint which we are writing to the authorities. Okay, so we need to be polite but firm. To kindly look into the matter. Once again, I repeat so that you don't get confused. So this letter will be little polite and firm, and concluding paragraph will remain more or less same in all letter of complaints for poor or bad services. So how do we write down the concluding paragraph? Hence concluding once again, I would request you to kindly look into the problem and help solve the problem as soon as possible. I would be grateful to you for your kind and much needed cooperation. And here in signature, you have to write thank you, yours truly, and name and designation if it is given. Just if you go to the previous slide, you will see in letter of complaint for goods, I have not written thank you. So this is the difference between letter of complaint for poor or faulty goods and letter of complaint for poor or bad services of the facilities which we enjoy. So this brings us to letter of suggestion. Students, in our syllabus, letter of suggestion is clubbed with letter of complaint. The topic is given as letter of complaint and suggestions. The letter of suggestion is more or less similar to the letter of editor because in the body of the letter also, sometimes they ask you to suggest the measures how to improve certain things or the problem. So let's discuss the general format. It is same. Sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject. Subject will contain suggestion. You have to be very careful while writing the subject. Except letter to the editor. All other letter students, the subject, the first word of the subject will be as per the letter. For example, if it is complaint, the first word of the subject will be complaint for poor laptop, sorry, complaint for poor road condition, electricity, complaint for faulty laptop, etc. Suggestion, subject will be suggestion for dash, suggestion for whatever is a topic mentioned in the question. If it is inquiry, the first word of the subject will be inquiry for a personality development program, German course, inquiry for German course, inquiry for tours and travel services, etc. If it is placing order, again, subject will be, the first word of the subject will be placing order. Okay. If it is cancellation, subject will be cancellation of order, meaning to say, except for letter to the editor, all other letters, the first word of the subject will be as per the concerned letter. So in our case now, it is suggestion. Suggestion for dash. Salutation is same, sir, madam. Introductory paragraph is same for all letters of suggestion. Here we will start with due respect, I would like to suggest about whatever is the topic given in the question. Then there are mention the problems due to which the residents are facing lots and lots of problems. Then in content or body, discuss the problem, suggest the measures, how to improve the conditions. And concluding will be, hence concluding, once again, I would request you to kindly look into the problem and suggestions put forth and help solve the problem as soon as possible. I would be grateful to you for your kind and much needed cooperation. Signature is again will have thank you, yours truly, name and designation. So the next line of formal letter which we have in a syllabus is letter of inquiry. The general format remains the same. Sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject. As I had mentioned, it will start with the first word pertaining to the letter. It's inquiry, so it will be inquiry about whatever the course, product, or any other thing which is mentioned in the question. Salutation is sir, madam. Introductory opening paragraph remains the same. That will be, this is in response to the advertisement regarding dash course product published by your institute, shop, store, etc. I want to pursue a short-term course in dash dash offered by your institute. I am a student of so and so. Content, your inquiry points are to be written in form of points or bullet points, you can say so. For example, suppose you are wanting to know about a short-term course in computer science or accountancy or any other personality development, German language. So now your inquiry points will be, as I have mentioned, you see, the duration of the course, teacher-student ratio, teacher fee structure, mode of payment, study material, offline or online, future prospects, any other relevant info, etc. Concluding paragraph again will be same students. It will be hence I would request you once again to send me the above information as soon as possible so that I can make my decisions or take admissions in the desired course. Signature again will be same. Thank you, yours truly, name. Designation if it is given in the question. So this brings us to the letter for placing order. So the general format remains the same. Sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject is placing order for whatever is given in the question paper. Then salutation. Then the very important thing which we come to now is introductory or opening paragraph. So the introductory opening paragraph for letter for placing order remains the same, students. But out of the three options which I've given, you can start with any one of them. You can learn any one and you can use it whenever you have to answer the question which is for letter for placing order. So any one you can use, any one whichever you like, you can, or sometimes, if this is pertaining to the question which is given in the question paper. Sometimes it is given in response to the advertisement, then you use the first one. If it is not given, then any one of the second or third you can use. So I leave this to you. I have given you three general opening paragraphs which we use in letters for placing order. Whichever you like, you can use it. They are very simple, very simple. Just learn them, memorize them, and practice them. So after we have discussed how to write the opening paragraphs for letter for placing order, let's now discuss how to write the content or body. In many of the books, sample papers, help books, you must have seen that the products ordered are mentioned in a paragraph form. I will suggest not to do that because writing the things in a tabular form or mentioning the order in the tabular form gives a neatness to the letter. So I will suggest to make a table, and your table should be made either with pencil or with pen, that is your call, and draw the table neatly with the help of the scale or ruler. The table should have at least 6 rows, and one is a status bar, which we say a status row, and 4 columns or 5 columns. 5 columns will come in the case of your books. Suppose the question is there that you are a librarian of the schools and you need to order books for your school, because books are different for different classes. So you need to add one more column in which you need to mention the class. Because the grammar books, for example, for grammar books or main course book for class 5, 6 will be different, and for class 10 will be different. Same, it will be for 11 and 12 will be different. So there we need to add one more column. So let's take the example, second example. Now you are given a question where you are the sports in charge and you need to order few sports equipment for your school. Okay. So we are coming down to the third column, that is brand, which I've already mentioned. You should be very careful. Here major mistakes occur. Many students make, I would like to say that it's a foolish mistakes, Do not make this mistake. It gives a very bad impression. It gives a bad taste also, whoever is reading this letter of yours. Example, as I have mentioned, you are ordering for sports equipments. Let's take the example of badminton rackets. Okay. So now the child or the student has put a badminton racket and do not know which is the company or the brand for badminton. So, and the child puts up Amul. No, Amul is a brand which produces milk products. Everyone knows it. So there it seems or it brings out the foolishness of the student. So instead of writing Amul, which is a very popular brand and everyone knows, Amul doesn't produce rackets. It's okay. You don't know the name of the brand, it's fine. Instead of writing Amul, you can write down XYZ. Okay. Again, once again I repeat, अगर आपको ब्रांड नहीं पता है किसी भी प्रोडक्ट का, म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हो गए, स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट हो गए, साइंस इक्विपमेंट्स हो गए, आपको ब्रांड नहीं पता है, कंपनी नहीं पता, कोई बात नहीं. You write down fictitious letters like XYZ, PQR, that is okay. But do not mention popular brands. कोई बहुत बड़ी कंपनी और पॉपुलर ब्रांड्स मत लिखिए जो वो चीज नहीं बनाते हैं और ये बात सबको पता है. For example, cricket bats, right? If I write cricket bat or badminton rackets, or I write down your hockey sticks, and beside that, I write down Lux Company, which produces soap. Okay. I write down Lakme, which produces cosmetic products. Nika. Okay. So this type of mismatch of popular brand or brands is to be avoided. Now we come down to the fourth point. Okay. The fourth column, quantity. For example, आपने क्रिकेट बैट ऑर्डर किया. आप क्रिकेट बैट आप थाउजेंड्स में तो नहीं ऑर्डर करोगे, है ना? आपको अपने स्कूल के लिए मैक्सिमम आपको 5 या 6 क्रिकेट बैट चाहिए होंगे. आपने लिख दिया क्रिकेट बैट और आपने ऑर्डर कर दिया वहां पे 1000. दैट इज व्हाट मिसमैच, और इट इज नॉट द justifiable quantity. So you need to be very careful for brand and quantity. Okay. So brand and quantity should be little carefully written. So you'll have to see there is what this 2 columns only tells how clever, how watchful, how prudent you are. ठीक है, कितना आप ध्यान से क्वेश्चन पढ़ के आंसर कर रहे हो. So we should use justifiable quantity and we should avoid mismatch of brand. And if it is books to be ordered, then you have to add one more column which is pertaining to the class. You can use pencil or pen as I told you to draw the table neatly. Closing and concluding paragraph remains same. Usually we discuss about 3 things. Number 1 is how you are transporting the products. It should be safe and sound. Number 2, the discount. And number 3, how you are going to make the payment. I have already given you the example. You are requested to send the products well packed and safely. Any damage during the transit or transportation will be borne by you. We expect a discount of 20% as given to all educational institutes. Payment will be done through check online once we receive and inspect the goods. Looking forward to quick and prompt delivery of good or products. Then signature will come. Thank you. Yours truly, name, designation, if given. Here, students, one thing I would like to mention is about discount. Do not ask for more than 20%. Okay, many a times I find the students out of fun, they write 50%, 60%. अरे भाई, if he is giving you so much of discount, तो वो खाएगा क्या? वो कमाएगा क्या? So we have to be little justifiable. So this is the last form of formal letters which I have in my tutorials. Letter for cancellation of order. Very rarely it comes, but still, when I'm discussing the format of all, so I thought I should mention this also. General format remains the same. Sender address, date, receiver address, subject is cancellation of order. Salutation will be Sir, Madam. Introductory opening paragraph will be this is to inform you that the order placed wide so and so start cancel. You can also start with regret. I would like to inform you that the order placed wide letter number so and so stands cancelled. Okay. In the body, mention the reasons. It's a delay, not prompt delivery, not response. Whatever you want to mention the reasons. Concluding and closing paragraph remains the same. Due to above mentioned reasons, I once again mentioned that the order placed on such and such date for such and such product stands cancelled. Okay, so this brings us to the last part of the types of formal letters. We have covered all. Here I would like to mention that for all or any type of formal letter, the word limit is 100 to 120 words. So this brings me to the end of my tutorial on how to write formal letters. I have tried to explain in detailed the various types, the general format, what are the specific difference between each type, how to write the subject, and whatever is an nitty-gritty pertaining to the each different type of letter I have tried to explain in details. I hope it will be of great help to you. And I will end with this beautiful quote once again. Don't study until you get it right. Study until you can't get it wrong. Students, for me, there are three types of answers. One is wrong answer, one is right answer, the third one is perfect answer. And that is what your focus should be on. Practice, practice, and practice until you get it perfect. Hope you will be able to get what you want. God bless you all. Please once again like and subscribe to my channel. All the best. Thank you. Students, the pictures in my presentation have been taken from the internet, though the content is mine. The samples of each letters will be put up in the description box for your help.